This is not a routine travel advisory. The United States is urgently warning its citizens in Iran to leave immediately, without delay. Officials say there is no U.S. embassy, no guaranteed protection, and no promise of emergency assistance if things suddenly turn dangerous. So what triggered this alarm? Why now? And is this the last chance for Americans to get out before the situation spirals out of control? Welcome to USA News Update, your source for breaking stories, global headlines, and developments that matter. Today's report brings urgent news from the Middle East, as the United States issues a serious warning to its citizens in Iran. We break down what's happening, why this alert matters, and what it could signal for the days ahead. Stay with us as we bring you the facts, the context, and the latest updates. According to official statements, the U.S. government has stressed that Americans in Iran face increasing risks due to heightened regional instability, rising military tensions, and the absence of diplomatic protections. The warning makes it clear that the United States does not have an embassy in Iran and cannot provide normal consular assistance. In plain terms, if something goes wrong, help may not be available. This stark reality is at the heart of why the advisory carries such weight. For years, relations between Washington and Tehran have been strained, marked by sanctions, proxy conflicts, cyber operations, and military posturing. However, this latest warning suggests that officials see a new level of danger, one that goes beyond the usual political standoff. Analysts note that such strong wording is typically reserved for moments when intelligence assessments point to credible threats, whether from state actors, militias, or sudden unrest that could spiral out of control. The advisory urges Americans to depart Iran using any available commercial means while they still can. It cautions against assuming that airports will remain open or that borders will stay accessible. History has shown that when tensions spike in the region, travel routes can shut down quickly, trapping foreign nationals inside conflict zones. U.S. officials appear determined to avoid a repeat of past crises where citizens were unable to leave once conditions worsened. Adding to the concern is the fact that Americans in Iran are particularly vulnerable due to long-standing hostility toward the United States. U.S. nationals have previously been detained, questioned, or restricted from leaving the country amid political disputes. The warning highlights the risk of arbitrary arrest, harassment, and detention, emphasizing that Iranian authorities do not recognize dual nationality. This means Iranian American citizens could be treated solely as Iranian nationals, stripping them of any protections they might expect as Americans. Behind the scenes, regional dynamics are also fueling anxiety. Ongoing conflicts involving U.S. allies, Iranian-backed groups, and rival powers have created a volatile environment. Any escalation, whether intentional or accidental, could trigger rapid retaliation and chaos. Military analysts warn that even a single incident could cascade into broader confrontation, putting civilians, including foreign nationals, directly in harm's way. The U.S. government's message also reflects a sobering acknowledgement of its own limitations. Without diplomatic representation in Iran, Washington relies on third-party countries to pass messages and provide minimal assistance. In a crisis scenario, evacuation options would be extremely limited, if not impossible. This reality underscores why officials are urging Americans not to wait, not to debate, and not to assume the warning is precautionary. For families watching from abroad, the advisory has triggered fear and urgency. Social media has been flooded with anxious messages from relatives trying to reach loved ones inside Iran, urging them to pack up and leave immediately. Some Americans in Iran, including journalists, researchers, and individuals visiting family, now face difficult decisions amid uncertainty, rising costs, and logistical hurdles. Flights may be limited, and crossing borders can involve complex paperwork and security checks. Experts say that such warnings are not issued lightly. Before making them public, intelligence agencies, diplomats, and security officials typically assess a wide range of factors, including threat intelligence, regional movements, and political signals. The conclusion to issue a "leave immediately" warning suggests that U.S. officials believe the risks outweigh any reason to remain. The broader implications of this move extend beyond individual travelers. It sends a clear signal to the international community that Washington views the current moment as highly unstable. Allies and foreign governments are watching closely, and some may follow suit with similar advisories for their own citizens. In past crises, coordinated warnings like this have often preceded major developments, from sanctions escalations to military actions. Iranian officials, meanwhile, have historically dismissed U.S. warnings as exaggerated or politically motivated. However, the reality on the ground can change quickly, regardless of official statements. Economic pressures, internal dissent, and external confrontations all add layers of unpredictability. In such an environment, foreign nationals can become leverage, targets, or unintended victims. The advisory also reignites debate over U.S. policy toward Iran, including sanctions, diplomatic isolation, and the lack of direct communication channels. Critics argue that decades of hostility have left ordinary citizens exposed during moments of crisis, while supporters insist that firm warnings are necessary to protect American lives. Regardless of political views, the immediate focus remains on safety. What makes this moment particularly unsettling is the sense of urgency embedded in the language. Officials are not advising caution. They are not suggesting preparation. They are telling people to leave now. That distinction matters. It implies that waiting for clarity or hoping tensions will cool could be a dangerous gamble. For Americans still inside Iran, time is now the most critical factor. Each passing day could bring new developments, tighter restrictions, or sudden closures. The warning urges constant monitoring of local conditions and rapid action. In situations like this, hesitation can have serious consequences. As the world watches, the question remains: what comes next? Will tensions ease, or is this the calm before a larger storm? For now, the U.S. government has made its position clear. The risk is real, the stakes are high, and the window to leave may be closing. This developing situation serves as a stark reminder of how quickly geopolitics can impact ordinary lives. A single advisory can change travel plans, separate families, and reshape perceptions of safety overnight. For Americans in Iran, the message could not be clearer. Leave without delay while you still can. Stay alert, stay informed, and keep watching as this story continues to unfold. This is a developing situation, and updates could come at any moment. We'll continue to follow this story closely and bring you the latest verified information as it unfolds. If you found this report helpful, make sure to like the video, subscribe to USA News Update, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any breaking news. Thanks for watching, and stay informed.